Hey guys, James here again. This is going to be what if Luffy had a stand. Which the way Luffy get a stand is, well, honestly, I'm gonna go over a few things first. A lot of chapters is the exact same until he meets Nagari with Ace and Sabo. But Nagari is an anime only character, but I like Nagari a lot more than most characters, honestly. I don't know why, but I do. So for me, I consider him canon because the way Ace and Luffy and Sabo fight as kids made no sense until he trained them. So it made sense once they met Nagari. So just to put sense into how strong those kids are, Nagari kind of laid it all out flat and made it more simple. But Luffy met Nagari, and Nagari would teach these three. Well, first he has them build his ship, but then he teaches them a few things, and one of those things being Hamon. Now Luffy would learn Hamon as well, and from Hamon he would only learn Force Ripple, Zoom Punch, Overdrive Barrage, and Healing. He can heal himself, but also other people. But from the healing also just has the automatic regeneration factor. It's probably incorrect from most JoJo's, but I'm adding in my own ability. But I haven't seen part 1 or 2 of JoJo's since I was like 14, 13, 14. So I'm picking my battle for this one. But you guys know what Force Ripple Breathing is. Basically, you just hit the diaphragm. Just one good punch into the diaphragm, and that's Force Ripple Breathing. Zoom Punch, you basically just dislocate your arm, and then you hit someone with it. So, like, you kind of like dislocate at the elbow, and then you hit someone in the face. Alright, well, where was I? Oh yeah, so they meet Nagari, they train with him, they learn Hamon. Then, like, full force breathing, you hit the diaphragm, Zoom Punch, basically dislocate your arm at the elbow, then hit someone in the face, or in the body, whatever you want. But basically, it's just Gomu Gomu no Mi without the Gomu Gomu. And then his Overdrive Barrage, which is just dozens of punches all at once, but your arm's elongated. Then healing is self-explanatory. But once Luffy basically learned Hamon and learned those 4 basic abilities, and mastered them actually, well, he actually unlocked a stand. But the stand is Gomu 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 no Mi in manifestation. And honestly, the name of the fruit is Nika. So, let me write that down somewhere. Where's my pencil? The stand name is Nika. And honestly, if you read the manga, you know why. Or if you've been spoiled already by me or by someone else, you know why. But for those who don't know, this will be a spoiler for the manga. You're going to skip forward like 10 seconds if you want to. Like 10, 20, 30 seconds. And basically, the name of the Gomu Gomu no Mi is changed to be Hito. Well, the name of the fruit is originally the human fruit model Nika. It was changed to Gomu Gomu no Mi, and Nika is the sun god. So yeah, with this, we can just move on past this to, probably just on over to, yeah. Alright, so Luffy unlocked the stand, Nika. The stand basically just manifests itself, both in form of just random one day. Now to give other characters a decent playing field for Luffy having a stand, despite the fight not going to be fair at all, the stand would be able to be seen by everyone. But Luffy basically says, "Oh, this he's able to make it up along the way, basically saying, oh, this is just my devil fruit, it's a new ability, my devil fruit." But some of Luffy's abilities that he does unlock. Well, one thing about Luffy's physical appearance, I forgot to mention that. So all the Joestars are like leagues above people in terms of just physical abilities, and due to Luffy being a main character, I'm gonna make him at least having a Joestar like build. So Luffy in height would actually be decently tall compared to other Straw Hats. Like, the only people that would be taller than him on his crew would be Frankie, Jinbei, and Brook. So Luffy in height is going to be roughly around 6'10", so he's just going to be huge. But as a kid, he's relatively short. But his stand's name is Nika, and the basic abilities that it has is stretchy limbs. It can summon flames on its fist, but not its hair yet. That'd be Gear 5. But when it summons flames on its hair, well, it'd be pretty impressive later on. Stretchy limbs, summon flame on its hair. It can somewhat loan the Gomu Gomu no Mi abilities to Luffy. Then it can basically coat its user in its body, which is just enhanced armor, but in exchange for having that armor, you get enhanced abilities, strength, and speed, and everything. But if you're hit even once, your pain will be enhanced by quadruple. So your body's just going to be in excruciating agony if you get hit even once. So yeah. So I don't get how people in JoJo's with stands can take their stand getting hit with fucking explosives for Kira and still withstand being able to stand up. When my stand gets hit from Kira or something, I'm probably just gonna have a heart attack from pain and die. So I think JoJo's character probably suck if you're a stand user. But yeah. One minor ability stand has is actually able to somewhat turn things rubbery, but it's really hard to do. It takes a lot of concentration. Like if Luffy were to fight someone and want to turn something into rubber or them into rubber, like give them like rubber like properties, he had to like just keep like clear his mind to anything and not even focus on fighting them. He had to focus on his stand abilities at all, like only his stand abilities. So yeah. So with this basically, like if you were fighting Aki Inu in Marineford, like he wouldn't have to think of fighting Aki Inu or think of Ace dying. It'd be a really hard fight for him. That's kind of just how his ability works. The stand also has kind of like a built-in observation hockey like thing, because basically it's able to somewhat see farther and sense farther. Yeah. Also, this stand is actually very capable of free speech and free movement. Pause one time. Alright, so this stand is very much capable of free movement, free speech, everything. Like basically like a living stand. Because Luffy ate the fruit, the stand has a bond with Luffy, but also has a bond with Luffy's personality as a kid. And the stand actually has knowledge just like rivaling Robin. And the stand like it doesn't even need to like read or know anything. It just grow like as Luffy gets older, the stand's knowledge grows. The stand's already very intelligent. She trains and teaches Luffy, Ace, and Sabo. See, in the stand, like its limit without Luffy, like its limit of free movement without like Luffy around him would roughly be around 40 or so meters. So how many feet is that? So the stand's range without Luffy's roughly around 132 feet, around there. And it's the limit with punches and is basically within Luffy's eyesight. But if Luffy and the stand are combined using the armor, well, his eyesight range would increase due to him getting observation hockey from the stand. So yeah. But we go into basically Luffy where, honestly when Sabo was about to be taken by his dad, Luffy's stand kind of just came out and beat the shit out of everyone in its sight. Like, Luffy could see them all, and stand beat the shit out of everyone, leaving Sabo not going with them. And Sabo doesn't need to go with them. And Blue Jam's too scared to fight Luffy because of that random golem thing that appeared behind Luffy. Like, he came out of Luffy's back and punched them all unconscious. So, yeah. So the stand scared off everyone. But, yeah. Now with this, we can move on past this all the way on to the next, I guess the next few moments would probably just be Sabo being with them the whole time. The very strong fighter, Luffy didn't really do much in this episode, just use shockwaves and punch it all out. So that's really all he could do. With this, we can just move on all the way on to, I'm going to say, we can just move on to Ace and Sabo leaving. When Ace leaves and gets the Marineford no Mi, like, immediately with his experience with Hamon and on being able to somewhat channel in the energy of the sun, like, he has his experience, like, when he eats the Marineford no Mi, he's fully under his control. Like, he has the energy and power to control it, like he's had the fruit for decades. So Ace getting the fruit can awaken it at any moment randomly, which it will not happen for a while. I'm gonna say that right now, because he needs some techniques. And then, well, yeah, but Sabo would also do that as well. So now with this, we go into Luffy leaving. When he leaves, he's roughly around 6'8". So he's almost 6'10", but not there yet. Yeah, so they leave, and the first arc would probably just be him versus Alvida's crew. But Luffy's stand honestly handled them all by himself. But I'm gonna go over Luffy's physical abilities just through sheer training with the stand, and also his intelligence. His intelligence is actually pretty good, actually. Probably close to Nami's. And Nami's one of the smartest people in the East Blue already. Now, Luffy's favorite basic abilities was his stand armor, like extra strength, speed, agility, and can stretch for at least 7 meters. When combined, the stands, like when the stands are by itself, his meters is 5 meters, but then when Luffy's combined with it, 7 meters. Well, that's the attack. That's like the stretching meters, but then just wandering around by itself, the stand can do 40 meters. But, yeah, just getting hit once with the stand armor would probably have you in pain for hours, but Luffy trained his pain tolerance just with Ace and Sabo kicking him while in the armor. Like, Ace and Sabo pick up like logs and just beat Luffy with it in the stand armor, and he'll just cry out in pain for hours, but trained his pain tolerance. Now, don't think that this is basically, it is abuse, actually, but Luffy had them do this to him. They didn't like it, but he had them do it. Luffy's also very, 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 very flexible and durable. Like, his muscles are like air and tied from the box. Like, his muscles are so dense that they can stop a knife Or if he stabbed him, bleeding just won't happen because of his just really durable and insane body. And he has that Joestar body, so just really buff too. So yeah. But the best way to describe his muscle mass, I'd probably say, is probably post time skip Zoro. So yeah, a decent amount of it. But yeah, his muscle strong actually stop bleeding, and blades. So yeah. He can read people with like books, and the best way I can describe it is like Rohan. Like he's actually like just really good. Like he's insanely good with people. So yeah, with him being really good with people, he's actually able to actually kind of read them like books like Rohan does, like Rohan's same ability. But honestly, he just knows people that well, or can get to know them that well. If he's a good swordsman, he does have a sword. Honestly, this ability is just from Jonathan, so yeah. But he can use a sword pretty decently. And then with the sword, he also would have alongside the sword, he would also be actually pretty decent with a gun. So yeah, he's pretty good with a gun as well. And he knows how to maintain guns and knives. Plus, with the healing ability that he learned from Hamon, he had to learn how to use he had to learn how to use a what was it? Yeah. He had to learn how to basically just learn what to heal and how to heal it properly. So he knows the human body pretty well. Okay, so with this, we can just move past this. So yeah, so we can just move past this all the way on to probably just Luffy meeting Zoro. Kobe basically see Luffy using the stand just to get things. And also the stand actually does steal for Luffy. Luffy had the habit since he was a kid just steal things using the stand. But Luffy can make the stand somewhat, I guess, hard to see. Like he can make it like people like see it's like shadow moving. But you have to be really like just it's adjusted to it. But people can see it moving and things like objects moving invisibly. It's then just weird. So yeah, so Luffy has that whole thing. Luffy walking into town, Luffy and Sand are talking, and Kobe would talk to the stand, and Sand says, "Oh, my name is Nika." And yeah. But eventually they get to know about Zoro, and Luffy actually asks Nika what they should do. Nika then says that they should free Zoro and put them on their crew. So yeah. So once Luffy is basically just told Zoro that he should save Zoro, they don't actually question what that is. As they look at Nika, he's like, "Oh, that's my double fruit ability." And this shocks them all. He's not wrong, but he's also not telling the truth. Hamon kind of brought out the spirit of Nika and then put it into one being. So by the way, if you guys can tell, this is what Nika looks like exactly. Just exactly like that. The X and everything. So yeah. But eventually they go to the grounds where Zoro is, and Luffy actually untie Zoro. Now eventually the Marines do arrive, but only if Nika just appear in front of them all and just being barraging with punches. As he basically would yell, "Gomu Gomu no not Jet Gatling, Gomu Gomu no Gatling gun," and he basically hits everyone with it. So then him and the Marines are out. Luffy ends up untying Zoro fully, and Zoro asks Luffy what that is. This is also a double ability. We been guessing how large the building is. That's when you still need to clear out the first 2 floors. That should be their limit. And Nika did just that, taking out 2 floors, even half the 3rd floor. But eventually Luffy walked in the first floor saying, "Alright, clear out the whole thing now." And Nika did just that. Once the whole building cleared out, even Morgan being defeated, well, also his iron jaw and axe hand being shattered. His iron jaw is kind of just dented, like he can't even speak out of it anymore. Or speak anymore. But then his axe hand is really shattered, like just in pieces. We eventually decides to leave. And Morgan woke up later because Luffy could tell the Marines weren't really wanting to fight him. They were scared, so he didn't hit them too hard. Or Nika didn't hit them too hard. But Morgan woke up like a day later in the prison cell, as the Marines took advantage of this to actually tie him up. And Impel was also in the cell as he was a bad person. But Luffy actually watched this all happen. So I have a cold, so yeah. How am I getting a cold in like almost the beginning of summer? Okay, so with this we can move on past that all the way on Ooh, pause. So Luffy and Zoro would leave, but Luffy watched the Marines arrest Morgan. And they should did thank him, and he says, "No worries. Sorry that Nika hit you so hard." Nika appeared and then formally apologized. And Luffy is actually still kind of like how he's canonically, while Nika is more like the gentleman. Yeah, Nika's a very like gentleman-like, I'd say. How do I put him? He acts like Jotaro. He's like Jotaro and Jonathan put together. He's very quiet and kind of goofy, but also very much like a gentleman. So he's kind of like those two guys how he acts. But Zoro actually leave with Luffy, as well. Luffy actually has a sword with him. He has like a short sword. So he has a short sword. Wait, pause one time. So Zoro kind of just leaves Luffy to the fact that he's very interested in Luffy, plus Luffy's a swordsman with a short sword. So yeah. But Luffy gets to know Zoro, and Zoro gets to know Nika. So yeah. But also Luffy and Nika are able to determine a few things about Zoro. He gets to know Zoro's basically personal info, where he grew up and everything. But honestly, that's just Luffy just getting to know him, and then he knows all of Zoro's physical abilities and probably mental abilities just by guessing, and they're all correct. So, after this, the next stop would probably be Orangetown. But when it came to just getting the bird, Luffy just had Nika just shoot up and punch it in the chest, hard to cave it in, and the bird just fell to the ground, and Luffy caught it. But to kill it, Luffy threw it in the air, and then Nika just hit it with a barrage, and then the barrage is honestly just to pull the feathers out, but also using the friction in the air, plus the fist, actually burn it and cook it. For the bird came back down, and the Zoro ate like kings. Well, they felt like kings because just how good the meat was. So they don't even need a chef, just cooking birds in the sky was good enough. Plus, Luffy can actually swim, Nika can't. So Luffy goes underwater and can't summon Nika, but Luffy still is like a champ in terms of physical abilities. So grabbing fish and throwing them in the air for Nika to just jump up and catch and kill and cook, it's pretty good. They don't need a chef, they can just eat fish and birds 24/7. Hell, Luffy's killed the Sea King in front of Pusha Village when he was like 12. He jumped in the water and just dragged it above, like dragged it on shore, and then Nika just punched it to death. And that's just how Luffy does things. Plus, Luffy's also just a really good thief. But yeah, with this we can just move on to probably just when they get to Orangetown, and they had Nika actually just push the boat full speed ahead. So as the boat just pushes them full speed ahead. So as the boat just pushed full speed ahead, well, they get to Orangetown, and they get up. Well, Nami actually bumps into Luffy. She's questioning like who's this, like when she hit him, she felt like she hit a rock. She thought you ran into a building. She looked up, seeing Luffy. Well, also Luffy's like just durability itself. Like she thought she ran into like a fishman or something. Because that's what Luffy feels like. He feels like his physical ability feels like a fishman. He's just a normal human. Once you guys run at Luffy, tells Zoro just cuts them down pretty easily, saying, "Hey Luffy, do you see them up there?" So he points out that things like the men, like Buggy's crew. So Luffy just said, yeah, he sees them. Luffy basically ended up jumping up onto the building, and basically just told Nika and Zoro just to get up here and tell Nami sit tight. Now, Nika ran actually full speed ahead on the ground, like Nika just full body manifest and just ran. But Luffy's running on buildings just to at least keep up with Nika by jumping all across them. So yeah, Nika's physical ability is a lot greater than Luffy's is, but still Luffy's really good with physical ability. He can run about the same speed as a building. So, pop. Alright, so Luffy just jumps onto Buggy's building with Nika right next to him, and Buggy questions what that thing is and who Luffy is. He was smirking before saying that he's straw hat Luffy as he holds up the straw hat and puts it on. Then he was smirking before he just runs his fist into Buggy's face, and Buggy's face is just cooked completely. Buggy gets him flying back, and Nika just went around punching out Buggy's crew. Zoro cut down Kabaji and Moji while Luffy just beat up just random guys. Yeah, Luffy fights too. He loves fighting. But Nika does insist that Luffy does be more careful of the fact that Luffy's not as durable as Nika is. But Nika seems to forget Luffy's body can tank bullets, cannons, knives, anything. It'll hurt, but you can tank it. So yeah. So with this, we move on past this all the way on to probably just Nami joining them. Next up, we start Village, which that arc honestly isn't any different. But Luffy's able to read Usopp very clearly like a book. Once Usopp would go away, Luffy actually began talking to one of the men. Then the men would actually ask Luffy why he's talking to Usopp, and he says how Usopp is kind of scaring them. Not scaring them, but annoying them. Luffy tells them that he can tell that Usopp actually cares for them a lot, and kind of, well, he doesn't mean to have them on edge all the time. He just tells them that once pirates do arrive, they'll probably be on edge immediately and ready to fight. So they may not know it, but Usopp has them ready to defend themselves at all times. But he cares for the village a lot more than anyone else, and then anyone else would know. And it made them pretty happy. When Luffy says this, he says it with a very truthful tone. Even the old man can tell Luffy's telling the truth. He was pretty impressed. So with this, we move on all the way on to probably just still Kuro. Also, when Luffy fell from like the whole ledge, Nika pulls the balloon back up and she covered Usopp's mouth just because Usopp was about to yell for Luffy. Usopp's mouth covered by Nika, and Nika pulled Luffy back up. Usopp was just more terrified of Nika completely, just because Nika just randomly appeared and Usopp has never seen him before. Luffy shows that this is like his devil fruit ability. But he starts devil fruit is like you see in comics as like you start like in comics basically describe devil fruit as a superpower, and Usopp believed that. So yeah. Oh, pause. Alright, so the next part. So yeah, when Kuro just begins attacking, and Zoro about to get lost, and Nika honestly ran and pulled him back, saying, No, wrong way. But Zoro can tell that Nika's in pain at pulling him back, and Zoro would actually run from around 45 meters away. Nika's just like almost killing himself trying to pull Zoro back. But Nika generally cares for the crew and actually does care for Luffy's orders. Probably Nika being the strongest one ever on the crew, like even stronger than Luffy is currently. He still would obey Luffy like Luffy's just king. So Nika would do anything, even kill himself just to get Luffy back. But if he does kill himself, Luffy will lose a lot of power, but still probably be the strongest on the crew regardless. But yeah. So once Nika pulls Zoro back and Nami back as well, they basically begin attacking Kuro's crew, and Zoro fights the Mabon brothers. Also, Nami wouldn't dare trick Zoro the fact that Nika scares her to death, so yeah. When you start fighting the Mabon brothers, and Zoro's about to get cut by one of them, Nika would appear, punching one of them in the face, and kind of just killing them on impact. Because Nika then yells that no one on Luffy's crew will be hurt today. And with this, well, Usopp actually wasn't hurt too badly at all, even by Kuro. Because when it came to Usopp being hurt, well, Nika actually healed him immediately. It didn't hurt for Nika to go that far away, but still, Nika healed Usopp. Nika also has Hormone, which he actually takes it from Luffy. Like Luffy, if you teach him like Nika will pull away energy from Luffy to use Hormone to heal. So it does actually hurt, not hurt, but it does take away some of Luffy's energy, but he's okay that Nika does this, if it's for a good thing. But as Luffy begins fighting down Kuro by himself, Kuro will try to use, like, Shave. Luffy just dodges and everything. Like, so Kuro can't really keep up with him at all, even Luffy going full speed. But eventually, Kuro got through this. Luffy had his whole arm cut off. But Luffy shot his fist on Kuro's chest as he just yelled Overdrive Barrage. And then, well, Kuro just gets hit, like, right in, like, just the sternum over and over and over and over again. When he's done, Kuro's ribs are basically they're basically just powder at this point. Kuro's coughing up blood, not even being able to breathe. And, yeah. Now with this, we can move on to probably just the next arc, being Bratier. And then later I have a Bratier. Well, honestly, the arc isn't any different until Gin walks in. But when Luffy sees how beat up Gin is, Luffy looks over Gin before Gin eats. He will question what he's going to do, so he just kills Gin, saying you should be at least like 80% power. As we go into the Bratier, Gin's healed, and well, he's healed by Luffy. Gin thanks him. Sanji feeds him. Plenty of discussion on how Luffy did that whole healing thing. Luffy says, oh, he has a dough fruit that allows him to basically harness just stretchy abilities and the power of the sun. And he allows him to heal things. And he's a little confused by this, so he cuts his hand open, and then he puts his hand over Sanji's, with his hands covered in like a kind of just a flame-like substance, and he heals Sanji immediately. Sanji chuckling, saying, what about the rubber thing? Before, Nico would appear around Luffy, and begin stretching all over the place. Sanji's jaw would drop, saying, I don't want to know what the hell that thing is. Says Nika, you talk to him, I'm gonna talk to Gin. Sanji actually would hear how much, like, just talk to Nika, and you just realize that Nika's a very nice person, a lot nicer than Luffy is. Well, not nicer than Luffy is, but a bit more proper. Then Luffy and Gin talk, and Luffy and Gin get along exceptionally. So, eventually, Gin would leave, bring his crew here, and when they arrive, Luffy actually refuses to heal them, which just confused Nika. Luffy told Nika to them their personalities, and Nika can really tell that these guys don't deserve healing. Gin asks why, and this Luffy says, just watch, something bad would happen in a few seconds. Around 40 seconds later, Krieg would announce that once they're fed, they're going to take the place over. Gin would stand up saying, wait, sir, you can't do that. Suddenly, Krieg would go to hit Gin, only for Gin to actually be able to avoid it due to Gin being at full health. Gin notices that he's actually at full ability, but Krieg isn't, and wasn't asking Luffy to heal them, but with how bad they're acting, no. He's asking how Gin's at full ability, but Gin says he was healed. Krieg pointed again at Luffy, saying, I bet you did it. You heal me now. He says, I dare you. Shoot me. Krieg would shoot Luffy right in the head, but Luffy ended up having his hand, like, he got the bullet at such a speed, and no one except for Zoro and Nika could see him grab it. And Sanji, actually. And Zeph. But he held the bullet up, saying, see, you're too slow. Suddenly he flicked the bullet right into Krieg's shoulder, and it broke through his armor, and Krieg would just yell in pain. Suddenly Luffy ends up summoning Nika, as he stares down Krieg's crew already outside with guns drawn. Suddenly Krieg is kicked right through his ship, and just lands in the water with his armor just shattered. Before Luffy kicked, he destroyed the poison immediately, and Krieg's the only one that got poisoned by it. Even if the poison was released, shockwave from the kick would just send the poison gas flying with Krieg. Krieg is kicked just right through his ship, and he's poisoned. Now Gin would look at his crew, seeing them ready for a fight. But Luffy says he'll handle this by himself. Gin shouldn't fight his own men. He knows how much it hurt Gin emotionally and probably physically. Luffy jumped down as Nika ends up beating up Pearl, and Luffy fights off all Krieg's crew like it's nothing. When he's about to leave, eventually once they're all beaten and they're about to leave, well, Mihawk would arrive before slaughtering the whole crew, actually, so it's not Gin. But Krieg's just dead in the water. But, Zoro and Mihawk do still fight in that arc. Not that arc. That fight, honestly, isn't much different. Zoro has a bit of different techniques. Like, this makes Luffy's fighting style a lot like a knight, while Zoro fights a lot like a samurai, I'd say. There's a lot like a Ronin in Samurai, as we see in Wano. Luffy's a lot more like a knight, so to say. So Luffy and Zoro both have like adopted each other's sword skills as like just knights and samurai, like a samurai knight. So Mihawk just sees how Zoro fights and how Luffy fights. He does tell that Luffy's a better swordsman, but Zoro actually has the he's better, but still kind of weird. So yeah. Pause. So, Luffy and Zoro are both beaten by Mihawk, but Mihawk does actually come at Luffy. But Nika would help Luffy to his feet as Luffy heals himself, then heals Zoro. And when he heals Zoro, Zoro actually does have a very much different scar. He has a scar resembling Luffy's that he has after Inu burns him. But Luffy more or less healed Zoro's scar, and it's kind of just like downward, like that. So, yeah. But Mihawk would question what that is, pointing at Nika the sword. But Nika says, someone you can't beat. Only for Zoro to just tell Nika to fight Mihawk, and Nika does and loses. But Luffy's just in excruciating pain after Nika loses. So, yeah. Nika then says, I retract all my words. You're far stronger than me. Mihawk then says, you're devil fruit some kind, aren't you? We need to put a thumbs up before Nika can say another word. And, yeah. Now, Nika is smarter than Luffy, but he's also very open, and Luffy's not that open about Nika's abilities, so, yeah. Yeah. Now, next arc after this one would probably be Sword Village. Not Sword Village, I mean Kokoshi Village. So, yeah. So, yeah, so with this, we can probably just go on to. Wait, first. So, Kokoshi Village is next, but Nami actually asks Luffy if they can go to this village to free it. Nami says it's their own. So, yeah. So, it's her own, not their own, but they're out of the village, and they head right to Arlong Park with Nami with them. Also, Nika is able to use a variety of weapons pretty decently, but only if they're like swords or daggers, stuff like that. So guns are really Nika's repertoire to his arms with shooting faster than guns could even imagine. So, yeah. So Nika actually taught Nami a few tips on how to use a staff, which should lead to Nami being a bit stronger. Actually, it was her and Usopp versus Chu, and they both won pretty easily. But also, Luffy actually trains a lot. The fact that he doesn't use Devil Fruit anymore. Actually, he uses Hamon, which actually require a lot of training to use. So, with actually training physically to strengthen his Hamon, he would basically end up going on and just being stronger physically and training a lot. The whole training saga, not training saga, but training montage happens a bit earlier, alongside the whole crew. So Usopp already has like a bit of muscles. So yeah, we can just go on to probably just Luffy versus Arlong probably be the only important fight. The fact that Hachi just was taken down by Zoro in one slash using one sword style. Then Sanji pretty easily dropped Kirby. Just one good kick to the jaw shattered it and knocked him out. So, pause. Alright, so we can go on to oh yeah, so Luffy versus Arlong. Now Arlong will go for a punch, only to have it caught by Luffy. Luffy is twisting his arm to the point where almost his arm was twisted clean off his body. He just punched right in the gut and sent flying through Arlong Park, or through Arlong Tower. Luffy jumped just right through the hole where Arlong punched through. As he pulls the sword out and then flashes downwards, cutting Arlong clean in half. Well, not in half, but his blade kind of just stuck just right inside the neck of Arlong as he didn't want to kill him, but he wanted Arlong to be kind of permanently injured. He kind of stuck the blade halfway through Arlong's neck, almost cutting his head clean off, and actually kind of severing his ability to walk. Luffy ended up healing the wound, only severing Arlong's spine. So Arlong can't walk and can only really speak and look around. That's like speak, hear, and look around. So yeah. So yeah, so with this, we can just go on to now, like, probably just the arc ending with Fishman retreating. But Nami actually should thank Luffy for having her be so strong she could take down Shu with the help of even Usopp. Usopp didn't take any offense to that because he thought he would lose too. But him and Nami make a really strong duo as well. So, pause. Yep, sorry, my cold keeps getting the better of me, and I keep needing to go get water and blow my nose. That's why I'm pausing so much. But, yeah, so this kind of ends the arc, and we move on to Loguetown, where honestly, that arc honestly isn't much different. Just Nika scares off Smoker because it's kind of just a battle of flaming punches versus Smoke, and Smoker can really get the better of those flaming punches. That's honestly just the arc. Buggy doesn't fight Luffy again, knowing that he'd probably lose because of Nika, and Nika always seems to be around Luffy because Luffy's stealing stuff left and right. Like he's a better thief than Nami with helping Nika. But Nika doesn't care. Saving money is kind of a need be right now. It's like they don't have any money, even with the money that Nami gave them, because it's the money she stole over the years. So yeah. But with this, we can move on, probably a bit later, to, I'm going to say, just, Whiskey Peak isn't much different, just Luffy and Zoro don't fight. The fact that Zoro wouldn't fight Luffy, and Luffy doesn't know that Zoro would have a reason for beating up so many villagers. I don't see Whiskey. I see Whiskey Peak just probably just being Luffy and Zoro don't fight, but that arc being mainly the same. And then same with Little Garden. Honestly, just Luffy doesn't pin it on because Nika punched out Miss Golden Week and just like not punched, but he flicked her and she went through a tree and not knocked her out. Then when it came to Wax Boxer versus like anyone, like hell, even Nami Usopp can like combine and drop a Wax Boxer. It's pretty easy. So yeah, that's not really too much of a challenge. So Luffy's actually able to talk down Dory and Rocky pretty easily, as you can tell their personalities, and they are actually heading back to Elbaf already. So yeah, the duels have just ended, and so is the arc now. We had on Alabasta, not Alabasta, I mean, Drum Island. The arc honestly isn't any different, but well, actually Nami got sick, and Luffy can't really treat illnesses, or he can, but they don't have the chills on board, and there's no doctors around, so. He needs to go find like this Doctorine or Chopper. Or Doctorine and Chopper. So yeah. So with this we can just move on. All the way on to yeah, we can probably just move on to I'm gonna say well they meet Doctor and Chopper, but not Luffy isn't just having frostbite or anything. He's completely fine. He draws power from the sun. Why would he be cold? Like, you can just use, activate Hamon, and he'll be good for a while. Plus, Sanji is actually unconscious. He's actually completely fine, so, yeah. Plus, when Vivi's shot or grazed, she's healed pretty easily. So with this, we can just move on, all the way on to, I'm gonna say, we can probably move all the way on to just Doctorine and Chopper just talking to Luffy and Nika. Now, Luffy is actually a bit more unreasonable because Chopper won't join the crew, but, well, he talks to Nika and actually tells Chopper that Luffy always felt like an outcast because of Nika, because it's always like having two people all the time. That's why Nika's so obedient to Luffy, the fact that Nika's abilities do make Luffy feel somewhat very uncomfortable because, well, one, he steals because they don't have a lot of money on the ship. He doesn't feel guilty about it, but they need to eat and drink anything but fish and birds because they don't like doing that 24/7. But yeah, so Luffy and Nika kind of just tells Chopper that Luffy can somewhat tell how Chopper feels because people do actually feel weird around him because of Nika. So yeah, so Chopper does join the crew because Nika, and Doctorine also gets to know Nika a bit better. So yeah, we can just move on past this, all the way on to, I'm gonna say, well, Chopper does join the crew, then we went to Alabasta. That arc isn't much different until Luffy and Crocodile fight for the first time. That's like the main difference. When these two fight for the first time, well, honestly, just Nika just hits him so hard with like heat that he's turned to glass. He's able to break out of the glass, but now his ability's kind of canceled out for a second or two. With the abilities now being canceled out, he just gets his shit kicked in. So yeah, so yeah, Nika just be trucking out into the dirt without Luffy even doing a thing. Luffy's just talking to Robin, and she's just nearby, and he knew it, so he was talking to her for a bit. So yeah, with this we can move on past Alabasta with Luffy still meeting Ace and everything. Not meeting, but reuniting with Ace. But Sabaody is actually part of the Revolutionaries still, just went there of his own accord. Well, first he was just a pirate for a bit, or not a pirate, but a bandit. Sabo was kind of like a lot stronger Nami, like a lot stronger version of Nami for a bit until he met a member of the Revolutionary Army. And Dragon happened to be in the same island, and he knew about Sabo, so he actually wanted to meet Sabo. But with that, Sabo was personally recruited by Dragon. That's how he's in the Revolutionaries. But yeah. So we can probably just move on to all of them. Just lead to know Ace. They leave. Ace leaves, and we move all the way on to yeah. We can probably move on to Jaya. So when it comes down to Jaya, well Well, when Bellamy's beating up Luffy, well, first off, Nami doesn't tell Luffy got trouble, just tells Nika to watch him. But Bellamy tries to beat up Luffy. Well, when Bellamy tries it, Luffy just hits him in the face and knocks him out in one go. And Nika didn't do a thing, knowing that was the right thing to do. So with this, well, first off, Bellamy screwed us just trying to fight Luffy only for Nika to beat them into the dirt. That's what happens. Zoro and Nika combined beat them all into the ground and nothing else. That's pretty easy. So once that happens, well, we can probably just go on to the next thing being, yeah, honestly, these arcs are ending too fast, but probably Skypiea. But when Skypiea happens, well, we can just go on to Luffy versus NL. That's what's actually a bit different. The fact that Luffy actually is very susceptible to lightning because he's not rubber. Nika is. Nika can actually can bestow the abilities of properties of rubber on a Luffy. But Luffy doesn't do this too often. In fact, he doesn't like it. But it's pretty fun to tank lightning blasts. But if he actually does use the armor of the stand, well, he does feel a little bit of pain, but still invincible to lightning. So with this, Luffy actually is able to beat up Enel pretty easily. Since he just beat up Enel, and he's done, well, Enel's just beaten to the dirt and unconscious. Well, Zoro and Robin also aren't too beaten up because Robin's on the crew. But Luffy's bounty is something I haven't got into too much. Luffy's bounty is roughly about... By the time that we go on to Skypiea, his bounty is already 100 million, so it's pretty high. So his bounty is already 100 million. We have Zoro, whose bounty is already 70 million, and that's really all the bounties. Well, Sanji's around 65 million, but yeah, that's the bounties. Luffy 100 million, Zoro 70 million, Sanji 65 million. That's the bounties of the crew. So yeah, the next arc would probably be Water 7. Which this arc is so much different, just Usopp doesn't fight Luffy because he's too scared to fight Nika itself. So once this happens, we'll just go on to Sanji fighting CP9. Sanji actually at this point already unlocked Diablo Jambe. He unlocked it actually in Skypiea. But he's actually able to defeat multiple members of CP9. And he's actually able to defeat Lucci. Not defeat, but him and Lucci fight to a standstill with a weakened Sanji. But he actually is able to stop the train for a bit, and actually will start to catch up. But Sanji suddenly see Lucci about to kill him with his Shion right to the head, only for Lucci's attack to stop halfway through. But he's like confused by this, saying what just happened. But he sees Luffy actually on the other side of the train with Nika right in front of him. Sanji sees Nika right in front of himself while Luffy's on the other side of the train. But Lucci basically ends up punching Nika ends up punching Lucci right in the jaw as he actually tears his arm off, but actually breaks it just by pulling on it. With this, Lucci's defeated, and yeah, they win. So they win, and yeah. So yeah, it probably just ends the arc with the train being the last part of it. Not being the last part, but they can just go on to Endy's lobby and then drop everyone without remorse, because it'd be the easiest thing ever. Because the only person that'd be a challenge would be Jabra, and he can just be taken out by Sanji, who's still pretty much weakened. So yeah, this probably isn't the most interesting arc at all. But yeah, once this is over, we can just go on to we can go on to fucking I guess that arc would be Filler Bark where they have Brook with them. So yeah, we can go to Filler Bark and yeah. Okay, we'll just Thriller Bark probably the only interesting arc. But when Luffy's about to have Shadow stolen, be the only big difference. Because as Shadow is about to be stolen, well, Mori just gets just decked right in the face by Nika and knocked out. That's really all that happened. That's assuming Luffy is captured. Yeah, so that's the only difference is that Ort isn't released and Mori just gets decked right in the face and knocked out. So yeah. So with this, we go past this arc all the way on to Sabaody, which isn't much different. But when we go on to Charles shooting Hachi, well, Luffy and Nika get ready for a punch as they do the whole ora thing. So they do that, and Charles is just beaten into the ground unconscious. Luffy ended up saying no one hurts by Nakama. Then when it comes to Kami, well, actually, Rayleigh doesn't do a thing. Nika just grabs it and tears the collar clean off and then just holds it in his hands. And then Luffy just says, no, don't do that. As Nika just throws it into the air and blows the whole ceiling away. So yeah, they walk out with not Ace. They walk out with Kid and Law. And Zoro and Killer just cut down the the rear admirals in their way. But then the captains just beat down their respective, just anyone in their way. By the time they're done, well, Luffy's just holding a sword as he cleans the blood off of it. And Kid actually does that to Luffy when Nika is, but Luffy says, it's just a weird double root thing. Well, actually, that's if it's a Paramecia, Zone, or Logia. This is Luffy says he doesn't know, and doesn't know what those are either. But Law gives Luffy a rundown of what zones, Paramecia, and everything is. Now, thinking about the fruit, well, Nika actually butted in saying, oh, I'm a zone. And Luffy actually asks Nika why, but Nika says, well, I'm a manifestation of a human. So I'd be a human no me. Nod saying, yeah, that makes sense. Human no me. Model Nika. Nika would nod. And Luffy says, yep, human no me. Model Nika, but he has a mind of his own. That's when Law says, it's one weird double fruit. Suddenly, Luffy ends up being able to dodge an attack from actually Kuma, not a fucking pacifista. But Skin Law are attacked by their own, only for Nika to appear in front of them both and punch out Pacifista in one blow. And Luffy ends up fighting Kuma, being able to dodge a lot of the attacks with just his sheer reflexes. Now, Nika ends up fighting Kuma, as Kuma can't slap away Nika, because once he does, Nika just appears behind Luffy again, because Luffy can manifest manifest Nika. And also Nika can just move on his own, so, yeah. Once Nika is slapped, Luffy just made him appear behind him again, and Kuma can't fight Luffy or Nika. And Kuma just repeatedly hit in the face over and over again. Every time the fight's over, they're both just covered in blood. So, yeah. Luffy's covered using the standard armor. And, well, Kuma's covered in dents and blood. But Kizaru would arrive after fighting Rayleigh. Well, actually, he wouldn't arrive. He just tells Kuma that they need to leave now. The fight's honestly too one-sided. Leaving the Kinshin stand armor thinking Kuma would leave, but Kuma just smirked before he just said, I'm with your dad. And, well, Luffy's aware of Dragon, and Luffy doesn't know that Dragon's revolutionary, because the thing with Garp still happened. Kuma hears this, he actually allows this to happen. She tells the crew that there's no worries, he'll find them someday, or he'll find them soon. And, well, they're all slapped away by Kuma, then Luffy slapped away himself as he trusts Kuma. So he arrives at I forgot. Amazon Lily, that was it, Amazon Lily. So he arrived there, and while he's there, he actually would end up, this arc isn't much different, just Luffy isn't captured. But then he's able to get everyone like him, even Boa and her siblings. And actually, with how easily Luffy knew Boa, and he's actually able to lie, saying that Boa is just his type, Boa has a crush on him now. But when he saw Boa naked, Nika actually said that this would be a good time for Luffy to use his moves. Luffy already knew what that meant, and already knew that Nika would actually prefer Luffy to do thing in circular, or a very phallic shape in a very feminine whole thing. Who ended up sighing, actually as Nika if it's a good idea, and Nika says, well, you'd be a king, or you'd just be very, very, very well respected, and Sanji would be jealous of you. The idea of Sanji being jealous was actually very fun. So Luffy and Boa did their thing. Pause. Once this happens, eventually they do go on to probably just the men in Impel Down, which honestly goes the exact same way. Just Luffy's too tall to hide under Boa, but instead he actually hides under the ship. So yeah, when it comes to Sea Kings, Nika just appears and punches one of them in the face and disappears. He can't swim, but he can still move. Like he may not be able to swim or float, but he can still punch and kick and everything. So yeah. But when they Impel Down, Luffy beats everyone in his way, including Magellan. Magellan's pretty easily beaten by Luffy, actually. Because Nika can get poisoned. He's not really a living creature. He's just the manifestation of a god. So Nika coats his fist in flames. Before he'd yell Gear Third. But when he used Gear Third, his whole body would grow in size. When Gear Third, Nika basically ends up using a barrage of punches that has his body get bigger and over again. And basically just Ora times like just 10 times the power, but minus the speed. With this, by the time Magellan's weakened, Luffy ends up walking away. And, yeah. As they walk away, well, they get to just level 5.5, and Luffy tells Ivan that he's Dragon's son, as he doesn't know Ivan's a member of the Revolutionary Army. This did shock Ivan, but Luffy does look somewhat like Dragon, but also has a very similar large height. Eventually, Ivan does help Luffy down to level 6, where they do meet Jinbei. When it came to like the stall, like, not the stall, the cell doors, Luffy immediately tore them off by himself, while Nika would end up breaking the sea stone cuffs. Yeah, Nika's honestly only weakness is actually just water and sharp objects. I said that's actually it, not sea stone. Yeah, Luffy and Nika kind of share, but also alter their own weaknesses. Like Luffy's supposed weakness to water would go to Nika, or then Nika's weakness to sea stone would go to Luffy. So Luffy's actually only one weak to sea stone. So Nika is actually pretty not affected by it, but he's really strong, so he breaks it out. He breaks out Jinbei, Luffy heals Jinbei. He breaks out Crocodile, he heals Crocodile. He heals everyone that needs to. Eventually they're fully out, and everyone's at their full health. But then they all arrive at Marineford, and while there, Luffy actually able to get to Ace relatively quickly, actually. Because Nika appeared and then actually just wrapped his arms around Garp and threw him. There was no one that Garp rushed at Luffy. Nika just appeared right below Garp, picked him up and slammed him through the ice. So yeah, they get to Ace, Sengoku's there, but Sengoku just has to block punches from from Nika. But eventually, Nika ended up going into Gear Third, punching Sengoku just into the ice with where Garp is. Sengoku actually able to actually stay on the ice with the Garp actually holding the ice up so Sengoku didn't fall through it. But yeah. Pause. Alright, so when Luffy gets to Ace, well, he actually able to actually have Nika just tear the cuffs clean off. And then when they're on Ace's wrist, Nika just crushes them and throws them around. Then Luffy jumps back down, as he looks at Marco, who's actually just caught up. Luffy ends up appearing right behind Marco as he beats up every marine around him and cuts them down. Then Marco sees some cuffs are torn right off, and he's healed by Luffy. But when Luffy's healing Marco does realize his energy coming back too. But a chance for Luffy's own energy being wasted too. Not wasted, but given away. Now with this, Marco ends up thinking Luffy, and, well, Ace was already healed and at full power. So, yeah. So Ace is kind of just dominating everyone, and actually, as I said before in the beginning of the video, with his use of Hamon, or teaching the Hamon and usage of it, but also, with his Devil Fruit and ability to use flames, well, he kind of has decades of experience with the Devil Fruit automatically, just from Hamon training. So immediately, he weakened his fruit in the war, and just began fighting anyone he could, but also beat Aki Inu. Like, you can just overwhelm him with flames, and flames are hotter than magma. So Aki Inu's overwhelmed and defeated. Pause. So, yeah, Ace overwhelmed Aki Inu and defeated him. And with Aki Inu's defeat, well, Marines began losing hope. Also, Luffy didn't hit Kobe in the face, because he does know Kobe, but also knows Hamapo and hit Hamapo in the face instead. Or Nika hit Hamapo in the face. Luffy just jumped over them. But yeah, Hamapo is aware that Luffy probably doesn't like him. So, well, Luffy doesn't like Morgan, and he can't find Morgan, so he hit Hamapo. Eventually, Luffy and Ace are in a circle, not a circle, circled by dozens of Marines. Nika appeared as Luffy ends up saying Nika, go all out. But Nika just said Gear Second, which was probably strongest form, because it does give him strength and speed, but Gear Third does more area damage as well. But suddenly, Nika would end up going Gear Second, and then saying he may have a better alternative, and asked Luffy what that is. Well, Luffy asked Nika what that was. Nika then used standard armor and actually told Luffy he can use Gear Second on Luffy, or Gear Third as well. Luffy agreed to this. Then standard armor began using Luffy, allowing him to actually be like canonical Luffy and use the gears. So with this, Luffy began using Gear Second alongside Ace and began beating down any Marines in his sight. So when they're done, well, Shanks had arrived. It's like Inu got back up. Well, first Marco had beaten Kizaru, and then we have Aokiji, who was beaten by actually Whitebeard. Inu never fought Whitebeard this war. Whitebeard isn't actually damaged. He has like a few gunshot wounds, and that's it. A few gunshot and stab wounds, that's it. When Shanks arrived, well, Blackbeard was actually beaten up by Luffy. Luffy fought him in Impel Down. He won. He fights Blackbeard again, and he wins. No matter how strong Blackbeard is, Nika is overwhelming him easily. So once Nika beats Blackbeard, well, I just move on past this to, I'm going to say, probably just the war ending, and Luffy and Shanks have a decent reunion. But Luffy still didn't make the 3D 2Y announcement, but he's not covered in bandages because he's completely fine. He healed himself. So yeah, now he turned into Rayleigh and Marco and Whitebeard for 2 years, while Whitebeard did die of illness not long after. But he didn't die. Like when it came to his injuries, Luffy immediately healed him once the war was over. Yeah, but he didn't know how to treat such a fatal illness. So in this one, Blackbeard actually didn't get the fruit, or Luffy thought he wouldn't, because that was his goal at Marineford. But what so happened is that once Whitebeard had died on Sphinx Island, where Luffy, Rayleigh, and Marco were, and Nika, well, Blackbeard actually waged war there like a month later. And Luffy and Marco happened to be out fishing for food. Suddenly we see just Marco. Luffy just feels Marco just getting nervous, and Luffy asks Marco what's wrong. Marco says he has a bad feeling, and Luffy suggests they head back to the village. They agree to only see it in flames because of Blackbeard, and Luffy and Blackbeard fight, but Blackbeard had learned hockey and beat Luffy. And well, first he hit Nika, and Luffy and Nika lost. But Marco really got overwhelmed with numbers, but eventually Marco's hit by just a quake right in the ribs, and they're all shattered. And this Blackbeard ends up leaving alongside his whole crew with Luffy and everyone else's defeat. So with everyone's defeat, well, this Luffy and learning hockey even better. He only learned observation. He wanted to enhance his observation hockey. That's really it. But yeah, after 2 years of training with Rayleigh and Marco, he learned armament hockey, and also how to use Conqueror's hockey. But also with how well and how fast he learned, Nika can actually use Conqueror's hockey coding, but on a very low scale. He could barely use it because he didn't know how to use it properly. Not coding, I mean Ryubo. He could use Ryubo. So with this, we can just move on past this, all the way on to just reuniting at Sabaody. But before we get into any other arc, I'm going to end this part here. If you guys enjoyed, also, Luffy does have the X star in his chest. He has that now. Him and Nika are matching. Alright, adios.